Yes, dictionaries are hash maps or associative arrays. In Python, dictionaries are ordered collections of unique key value pairs defined by enclosing the pairs within curly braces. Okay, so um, these key value pairs are Python objects. So we can have, so here if you look at our diagram here or image, we have a dictionary car, and then here, it's enclosing curly braces, we have key value pairs. The brand is Ford, the model is Mustang, and then the year is 1964. Now these key value pairs, they are Python objects. Okay, so the same way we have this, we could have, um, okay, what should I do here? I don't want us to get this confused. So I'm gonna open my Python because the same way we have this, what is it? Same way we have uh, a dictionary that is populated with key value pairs. We could have an empty dictionary. So we could have empty dict, and then this is what we have. It's just empty dict, okay? So there's nothing there. So it's empty, okay? So uh, one of the ways we can create a dictionary in Python is to enclose key value pairs inside two curly braces. So let's have something to work with in user. Now we have this. Um, we can set some key value pairs. And then one thing, again, Python dictionaries are mutable object types. So we can mutate their internal state. We can change their internal state. We're going to demonstrate that in the course of this tutorial. So user, let's specify a name key. Let's say we call that Yomi, and then we can have age. So age is int. Let's call that 29, and then let's have city, and then let's call that Lagos. Okay, I've blundered. What did I do? Okay, think I didn't. My name key was not correctly uh, defined. So sorry about that. I'm gonna do that again. So user, okay, and then this time I'm just gonna enclose h in double quotes. Okay, so if I press enter now, then I say user. Okay, so we have this. All right. We can, much like we use the index to uh, obtain values from our list, we can also use the key to obtain values from our dictionary. Okay, so we can do something like this, user, and then we set the name, or we set a key using the subscript operator. So if we wish to get the value for name, see, this is Yummy, for city, like that. Okay. There is also we can also use the .get method to obtain values, to retrieve values from our dictionary. So we have user.get. Okay, and I'm going to pass the key, let's say email. Okay, email. Now, if you look at what we have here, you realize that there is no email inside. We don't have any key named email in our dictionary. So if I and then press enter, I expect this to blow up. User.get email. I don't have it coming. Get email, and I say user.get email. Then I do get email. Okay, so it's returning. It's not returning anything because we don't have what is it called? We don't have email specified inside our dictionary. So there is a cleaner way to do this, which is to do user.get. Since we don't have email there, we can have email, and then here we can do not found. So if email key was not found, this should if we didn't since we didn't specify email key in our dictionary, this should return not found. Okay, not found. Good. So this works. What if we decide to finally set the value of our email? Then we can do user. Then we use subscript operator email. Okay, and then we set this to what is it called? Set this to user@gmail.com, like that. So now we do user. See, our dictionary has been modified. We have new property, email, and then the key value pair, like that. Okay. What else can we do? Before we get to dictionary methods, let's work with let's build some more dictionaries and to further demonstrate what we're trying to achieve here. Okay, so if we have deco, for instance, and then deco, let's say this to let's say A, okay, and set this to some value, okay, then let's say B, no, this is going to blow up, B, and then let's have list here, list, oh no, okay, let me use this one, okay, B, let's do B, and then here, let's have banana, cherry. Okay, so that's the list value for our dictionary. Okay, so if we do this, this should work. Then if I do deco, okay, so we have our dictionary. The first property, the key value pairs. A is a sum val, and then B, the value is a list containing 2 items. Okay, so we can add more to this. So we do deco, and now maybe we want to add number. We want to set number as the key. Then we do here we have an integer. So this is a value here. Okay, so if you now do deco, sure enough, we have the new property here. The key is 5, and then the value is an integer. Okay, so which means we don't necessarily have to set our key to string because this is an int key now. So that's that. So one thing we can do is we've shown that we can retrieve items from our dictionary by using this subscript syntax. So this is getting our banana uh, value, which is an array here. Okay, so we can check whether a property uh, exists or a key exists in a dictionary. Remember the other time we were using get to get the value of a key in a dictionary. So we can use the identity operator here. We can do, so for instance, we can do a in deco. So this will return a boolean. So this is true. So which means we have uh, a key a in our dictionary. So that's why we're returning true here. Okay. So we can delete values using either the delete keyword or the pop method, much like we did in our list. Okay. So when we do that, uh, we return the value and delete the key. So no, when we use delete, we delete the key, and then if we use pop, it just returns the value. So in order for us to do that, maybe we should expand on our dictionary a little more. So should we? I think we have three properties. Sorry, we have three properties in our dictionary. Maybe we can do more. Um, okay, let's do deco, and then here we have A. Okay, let's have C now. Okay, and then here, I don't know, let's have a top, let's have tuple. So then we do deco. Okay, so now we have a new key added to a new property added to our dictionary. Okay, so let's use the delete operation. If we do to delete, we can do delete, okay, then deco, then we set the key. Okay, so to set the key, let's say we set key 5 now. Okay, so then if we do deco, see, this property has been deleted from our dictionary. Okay, so we can also say what is it called? We can do pop. So the way we do that, we can do let's have a variable. Let's say return, and then we do deco dot pop. Okay, and then we set the what is it called? We set the key of the value we wish to pop. So we set the A, then we say return. Okay, so that's that. It pops it and then returns it, the value, much like we did under our list. So let's check what we have in our deco. See, it's pop the first property, this one, out of our dictionary. So we are left with these two properties now. Okay, now we can create some kind of list from the key of our dictionary. So we can create some kind of list from the keys of our dictionary. And the way we do that is to use this method uh, with our dictionary known as dot keys. Okay, so let's say we wish to create a list from the keys of our dictionary. Then we can call let's say we can call the list method or the list constructor if you like. Okay, and then here we can do the dictionary name deco dot keys. this will hopefully create a list of uh, our dictionary keys. Okay, so we have B and C, so which is uh, these items B and C, they are the keys of a dictionary. Okay, um, we could also create a list of values. So uh, the method to do that is dot values. So we can do list, then we have deco dot values. See, so now we have a list of the values in our dictionary. Okay, um, what else can we do? So we wish to iterate over both the keys and values. We can use items method to iterate over the keys and values as tuples. Okay, so we can do list, for instance, and then we can do deco dot items. So items is a method for our dictionary. Okay, so we do this. See what we have. We have B, so we have a list of tuples. The first tuple, see, B, then banana, second tuple. Remember we said a tuple is enclosing parentheses. So we have a list of tuple here when we invoke our dot items method. Okay. Um, we can also merge one dictionary into another using the update method. Okay. So let's say we wish to merge another dictionary to this, then we can do deco dot update. So the update method allows us to merge a dictionary to another dictionary. Okay, so we can do this, and then here we specify uh, create our dictionary. So here we say, I don't know, maybe we do D this time, and then here we say what do I want to do? Some string. Okay, that's the first one, and then I don't know, let's say F, and then we say foo. Okay, and then we used C the other time. Okay, let's stop with this. Start with this, and then sure enough, I enter. Then I deco. See, we have what is it? See, we have a new dictionary updated with this dictionary. Okay, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a dictionary comprising 4 properties. Now, okay. Now, what else can we do? We've done the dot get method. Okay. Now, what if we wish to categorize a list of words by their first letters as a dictionary of list? By the way, uh, we're in IPython. So if we wish to get more information about a dictionary inside IPython, we can do something like this. I think, and then if I do tab, okay, good. So what is it? So we have some additional information about our dictionary here. I did tab. Hold on. This, if I do enter, or what is it? New empty, what is it? String form, length for docstring, new empty dictionary, new dictionary initialized from mapping object key value pairs. I don't know what is this talking about. Let me try this deco dot. Okay, so these are some of the These are some of the, I think I used the wrong command here. That's why I'm getting this error. So these are some of the methods we can call on our dictionary. See, clear, get, pop, update. I think we've used this update. I think we've even used values. We may not have used set default. We've used keys, items, copy. Okay, so you can play with some of these methods in your spare time. So, so what if we wish to categorize a list of words by their first letters as a dictionary of list? Well, how do we go about that? Let's try something. So let's say we have words, and then we have a list. Okay. So here, let's say we have cherry, cherry. Okay. Avocado, avocado. Hope that's correct. What else? Let's have bats. Okay. Let's have pigeon. No, pigeon. Okay. Let's have book. Okay, let's stop there. So these are words. What is it called? Remember what we're trying to do, we're trying to categorize a list of words by their first letters as a dictionary of list. Okay? So at the end of the day, we should get a dictionary that categorize what is it called? Uh, the list that categorize the words in this list as a dictionary of list. Okay? So don't let me let it cat out of the bag. So let's just continue. So we can create an empty dictionary here. You can say by letter. Okay, so it is an empty dictionary. Okay, so let's use the for loop. You can say for, of course, we have to look through the words, the list. So for word, in words, what do we wish to do? Okay, let's get each letter. So it's a letter, and then we get the word using the subscript operator 0. That is, we're getting the first letter in every item inside our words list. That's what this variable letter is doing. Okay, so then we can do if letter not, now we're using what is it called, identity operator, not in by letter. Okay, so if letter is not in by letter, that is this empty dictionary. Okay, so what do? We can get the letter key from by letter. Okay, so this is by letter, and then we get the letter key. Okay, and then we're going to set it to array of word, like that. Okay, that's it. Then we can do else. Okay, so what do we do with else? We can do by letter. Okay, so we get the letter key from by letter, and then we do dot append. Dot append, then we have append word here. Okay, so remember we started with by letter, which is empty dictionary. So we're saying for every word in our words list, okay, set the first letter in every word into this array letter. Now we're saying if letter, so set the first item, the first letter of every word into this variable letter. Okay, now if letter is not in by letter, Okay, if every first letter, okay, from each of the word in our list is not here, it's not inside this what is it called, dictionary now, we can say, then we need to like populate it. So we say by letter, that is, we get the letter key from our by letter dictionary, and then we set an array of the word here. Else, we get the letter key from our by letter array, then we append the word here. Okay, so uh, if I do enter, and then now I need to call this by letter dictionary, and let's see whether this works. See, so we have a dictionary of what is it called? A dictionary uh, where we're categorizing uh, a list of words by their first letter. So what do we have here? Here we have C, key C. It's saying the list is cherry. Okay? Cherry. So remember, um, we're getting cherry here. It's inside the list. That's because we're um, here the the item that begins with C is just one. That's why this list has one item. The same way with A. Okay, the same way with A. We only have one item that begins with A. That's why we have one item here. Now with B, we have two items, bat and book. See? So we have it here. And then for P, we have just one letter, one word, pigeon, pigeon rather. So that's what we have there. Now, there is a cleaner way of doing this, which does not necessarily have to involve all of these, what is it called? All of these programs that we've written, because it seems this is quite long. So we have a method in for our dictionary known as set default. If you remember the other time we do, so we can call our dictionary like this, and then we do dots, and then we do tab. See, we have all of these methods available to us. One of those methods is set default. So we're going to use that set default method to sort of like shorten this program now. So how do we go about that? We can set by letter. We can set it back to empty dictionary. Okay. Then we can say for word in words. Remember our words. Harry is still there in memory. Okay. Then we can say letter equals word 0. Okay, that's the first word in our letter. That's the first letter in our word. Okay, in each of the words in our array, in our words array. Okay, so we can continue. Then we can do by letter, and then we call it set default. The set default method now. Okay, and then here we can do letter empty list. Then we can do dot append. What are we appending? We are appending word. Okay, so if everything works right, if I call by letter now, we should have a dictionary of items categorized by the first letter. Okay, so this is working using our set default method like before. It's working. Okay. We can also use default dict. Although when we call by letter here, we don't have default dict here. We only have set default. Okay, so it turns out we can also create a dictionary using default dict. So default dict is a method on collections object. Collections object is an inbuilt module in Python. So we have to import default dict from collections. Okay. So the way we do that is to do, remember, we still have our words array here, our words list here. Okay. So the way we do that is to do from collections import default dict. So we're trying to write another program for generating our dictionary in such a way that it categorizes the items in our dictionary by their first item, by the first letter in our array, and then the value gets outlined in a list like we've seen here. Okay, so I've imported default dict from collections objects. So what do we do? I can set by letter, which is our dictionary. I can set it to default dict. Okay, and then I'm gonna pass the list inside this. Okay, so then we can do for where, so which means our default dict is expecting a list. Okay, so we set by letter dictionary. We call the default dict method, and then we pass in list arguments inside our default dict, which we imported from collections objects. So now we have to loop through what we have here. So we say for word in words. What do we do? Then we do by letter. Okay, by letter. Then we have word 0, like that. Okay, then dot append. We append word here. Okay, fingers crossed. If this works, we should get by letter. We should get our dictionary now. This works. Okay, now see, we have a default dict. C, cherry. A, avocado. So this is using the default dict constructor, if you like, or method. So it's saying we have a list. So it's taking list. Remember, we set a list here inside our default dict. So now we have a dictionary. The first property, the key is the first letter here, like that. Okay, so we're going to be coming across dictionaries in our subsequent tutorial. So I don't want to make this tutorial longer than it already is. So I'm going to stop here, and then I'll see you guys the next time. I hope you've learned a thing or two from this session. Thanks for watching.